Everyone, and welcome to OSH 4313, Industrial Hygiene Management Strategies. I'm Christina Lukey, and I'm going to be your instructor over the next 8 weeks. I am currently in rural Florida at hotel, obviously, calibrating my noise equipment to do some noise sampling tomorrow, so I figured what better time to do a welcome video for my IH class. I'm interested to hear your where you guys stand in IH, whether you practice it, whether you hire consultants within your business, or whether you have an internal program. So we'll get into that with our first discussion. But first of all, what is industrial hygiene? If I had a nickel for how many times I had this question in my life, industrial hygiene is the recognition, evaluation, and control of physical and chemical hazards in the workplace, in a nutshell. And this week we're going to get into what makes a good IH. And we're also going to get into qualitative versus quantitative exposure assessment, exposure assessment processes, and that is developing a industrial hygiene sampling plan. What kind of equipment are you going to use? What kind of samples are you going to do? How many samples? Are you going to do area? Are you going to do personal monitoring? Are you going to do both? And then we're also going to get into how to analyze the results and how to actually calculate a TWA, or a time-weighted average, which is going to be really fun. We'll do that in the week 2 lecture for your week 4 assignment. So after that, we're going to get into the difference between hazard and risk and the importance of communication, which is super important in both safety and industrial hygiene. We tend to be very analytical people, and we have to learn how to be people and how to really make a difference with communication. We have to convince people to do a lot of things. The second half of class, we're going to get into medical surveillance and monitoring, and we'll get into lead and hex chrome and silica, because those have specific requirements, and also respiratory protection. And then we'll do training and job hazard analysis, which you're going to probably get across a few classes, but this is going to be specifically related to industrial hygiene. Then we'll get into emergency preparedness and response, and then finally, evaluation of an IH program and continuous improvement process. So that's what we're going to cover over the 8 weeks in the class. And my advice in general is to read. I always say that in all of my classes. You're going to get out of this class what you put into it. Also, communicate with me. If you have a need or you have a question, email me, text me, call me. Texting me is going to be the quickest way to get an answer, and if I am not available, I will get back to you just as soon as I can. But there are several levels that I have to go through to get an email, and especially one that comes from the class. So feel free to text me, and then we can document what we talked about in the email in the class. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with our discussion. I'm interested to hear about what you guys do and your experience. Looking forward to it.